That's the best Scorpio card that we've had. Definitely. Well, let's have a shuffle. It's a huge deck of cards. Oh, it's really difficult. There's all like extra cards in it. That wasn't bad, we did alright there. Okay, spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Scorpio's highest good. I can hear my mum like having a really aggressive conversation. Not aggressive, well, yeah, passionate, aggressive conversation. Debating with my dad about something. Try to ignore that. Okay. Spirit guides, universe and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Scorpio's highest good. How is Scorpio feeling in this third week of May 2025 with regards to what they're thinking about, dealing with or manifesting in? 3 cards for how Scorpio is feeling. I'll get 3 cards for you, 3 cards for your person, see how they're feeling, 3 cards for the outcome, and I will clarify why they feel the way that they feel. I'll get some messages from them, and then I'll get some advice from Spirit, okay? So 3 cards for you, Scorpio, first of all. What's this? The 7 of Wands reversed. Right. The 7 of Wands, when it's upright, is someone that's feeling competitive. They reckon, you know, they're in with a good chance. If they're trying to win the affections of someone and there's other suitors, they feel like, you know, the person's only into them. It's being competitive, the 7 of Wands. It's enthusiasm, confidence, you know, thrashing about. When it's reversed, it's a lack of confidence, a lack of enthusiasm, feeling like we've got the disadvantage, or we're at a disadvantage. I'm going to close that door because she's on one. Hang on. Okay. It was really distracting, sorry. So we're feeling like we're at a disadvantage. And this is a love reading. But you know how we feel in our jobs, how we feel in our physical health. It can make us more emotional or not try stuff the way that we normally would. So how else is Scorpio feeling? Okay, we've got the Ace of Wands. So suddenly, we've become incredibly confident, incredibly passionate. Now, Aces is like our hard work met halfway by the universe. So the universe is like seeing that there's something you desire, that there's something you really want, that you're working hard for it, and they're meeting you halfway. You know, these clouds, like, this is divine intervention. This is like, I'm going to give you a boost in confidence. I'm going to make you feel good about yourself. I'm going to put you in a better mood. Like, Ace of Wands is like, this is a major opportunity, a huge new adventure, and I'm grabbing it with both hands, you know, and I'm not letting it go. Like, could be a rebirth of an existing connection. There's a lot of wands here, a lot of fiery energy for a Scorpio, watery Scorpio. You know, wands are phallic, so it's passion, enthusiasm, excitement, you know, keenness, adventure, ambition. Knight of Pentacles, but he's in reverse. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, when he's upright, is someone that's like, I want to date this person with a view to having a relationship. Okay, a knight has already spotted someone. A page watches and waits. A knight makes his move. Okay, so he gallops towards the person with this pentacle and he wants to take them out on a date, but he wants to date them because he wants to invest. If it's good and it's going well, he wants to create the Ten of Pentacles eventually, you know, and put two lives together and two incomes together and create lasting generational wealth. It's a serious offer. So it may not work out when you start dating, but if it does, you end up married to this person, okay? So it's a serious offer. When it's reversed, though, it's like, well, I might date them, but I'm not going to invest in it. I'm not going to invest in it. So why do you feel like that? That is the question. Do you fancy them, but you don't see it as like long term? Are they just super hot, you know, but not the kind of person that you would build with? Because ones are like sexy energy. Let's get 3 for them. Okay, that was straight out. The World card upright. 10 of Swords reversed. 7 of Cups reversed. Lunar eclipse reversed. Well, the World card is upright. That's the end of a cycle. The Fool realises that, you know, he must take life's rough with the smooth and better days are coming. So it's like a period that's been difficult. Dropping the burdens. That 10 is the end of a cycle, so they go together perfectly. Swords are the most pain anyone can bear, and then it just has to reset, because who can take any more than 10 swords in their body? It's not possible. 7 of Cups upright would be, I'm at a crossroads, okay, and I'm just wondering what's next for me. This is a really nice narrative, actually, isn't it? End of a cycle, letting go of the burden, the pain, the fear, and we're just wondering what's next for us. However, when this is reversed, we're crossing over from daydreaming into fantasies and delusion, because we're thinking so much about what might be next for us that we're doing that more than we're living our lives in reality. So there's a lot of daydreamy energy, and this water I'm not 100% sure about these lunar eclipse cards. But there's a hell of a lot of emotion here. I mean, the moon is a very comforting source, and it would be very scary in ancient times for these ancient civilizations to have a planet blocking out that comfort of light, that moonlight, for even just a couple of minutes. It would have been very disconcerting, very eerie. So it's like a bit of a destabilizing energy, that, isn't it? So maybe someone's more comfortable with fantasy than reality, you know? That was reversed, wasn't it? The lunar eclipse card, that was reversed. It looks like both of you are hesitating to fully invest. You're showing up as a knight. 9 of Wands. That's the wounded warrior, someone who's determined to keep going, even though it's really difficult and it's been going on for a while. I mean, at the same kind of point in this story, the timelines match, don't they, for major enthusiasm, determination. No wonder no wonder you felt defeated before you even got started, because this person was just like daydreaming, but to the point of like delusion. So you're like, well, I don't want to invest if they're like just a space cadet that's not really living in reality. Ooh, what's this? The 4 of Pentacles reversed and the 7 of Swords upright. Well, the 7 of Swords is secrets, lying, cheating, stealing. It's being very strategic. Look, they've got their cloak on, their hood is raised. They don't want to be seen. They're running around stealing all the swords. Something's going on behind your back, and then that looks like an outgoing of money. Instead of conserving wealth, instead of stacking up the pentacles, we're losing pentacles. So there could be someone stealing money here, and maybe that's why you've withdrawn yourself. There's a narrative here to do with money and not taking this person seriously. So maybe they're really, really bad with money, really unreliable. They're not good for it. You always end up paying. There's plenty of people like that. And to be honest, we all have phases in our life where we're bad for money. We don't have the money to do even like small things like go out for a dinner or, you know, have a night out. We have to say no, you know, because we've overdrawn by too much and it's just not a good idea. But some people are in dire straits and it's just, no one presents that, and then they just hope that you're going to pick up the bill or whatever. Maybe they've left you to pick up the bill and you've thought, nah, not this time, matey. No, not this time, missy. That happens a lot. That happens a lot. I've found that so much being a female. The more money I've earned, you know, the more guys I've met that are like, they've just got a major problem with like money. And that's like their incentive a lot of the time is money. They're trying to find stability through me. The 2 of Swords upright, so head in the sand, not wanting to deal with it, not wanting to make a decision, The Five of Cups reversed. So the Five of Cups is grief, sadness, regret, loss. I think this is recovery from grief, sadness, regret, loss, or we're trying to avoid a situation where we might get into, you know, something that we're going to regret later on. We've got the Eight of Swords reversed. So something's become clear now. We're no longer stuck in our heads. We're just clear that we're not going to play this game. You know, it's like, no, not doing it, not paying for you every time we go somewhere, not talking to you about my earnings, my salary, my savings, not getting a house with you. No. Okay, there seems to be a lot of reservations to do with money here. And I think your spidey sense is correct, or they've already done something to warrant this reaction from you, because that is sneaky. That's very, very sneaky behaviour. So this person's like not living in the real world. They're a liar. They're full of shit. Okay? They're not someone to settle down with. Knight of Wands. They might be very persuasive and charming. They might be good in bed. You know, that might be part of the reason that you gave it a chance for a while. We've all done a bit of that. Nothing to be ashamed of. But yeah, don't bleed out all your savings on this person, because they'll leave you with nothing, okay? They don't care. People don't care. They're just doing what they need to do to survive on a day-to-day basis, a month-to-month basis. They've got no shame. Knight of Wands is sexual energy, flighty, unreliable. They're just doing what feels right in the moment. That's as deep as it goes. They might say that it's more than that, but it's bollocks. They can't offer you stability when they're in that frame of mind. And I doubt you're the one that's feeling sexy, because you actually look really disappointed and cautious. Necessarily, you know, it's necessary to feel like that, and it's necessary to stay like that. You need to proceed with caution or just halt it completely. King of Wands, with the King of Pentacles and the Temperance. Look, the King of Pentacles is reversed. This person or you have been taken for granted. You could have been over generous with this person if you're the King of Pentacles. If they're the King of Wands, they could be, you know, very, very attractive, like this Leo energy, like, I'm very good looking, I'm confident, you just need to do this, you just need to do that. People with Leo in their charts are very assertive, and some people talk in such a way that you just find yourself doing whatever they've said, because it's more of a demand than an ask. They're just very assertive. But like that, you can end up with an empty bank account. So, and these people make mistakes, okay? So you could be over generous, you could be a people pleaser, you know, it could be causing you a lot of worry to have lost this money to this demanding person. Why is my phone not charging? So I plugged my charger in there, I didn't put it into my phone. How dumb is that? Hopefully it stays on. Just plugging it in. There we go. Yeah. I mean, you could have become... No, because, yeah, you were showing up as the Knight of Pentacles, and then you became... I think you became the King of Pentacles reversed. So it's actually crossed into, like, affecting your savings, affecting your bills, getting paid on time. Your future, you need to stop this. You need to stop this now. Nip it in the bud if you haven't already. Because this person is not to be trusted. Not with money. Not at all. I'm warning you now, Scorpio. There's another one that's up right here. What's this? Ooh. Heartbreak. Because this has become like the bubble's being burst, I think it's reversed because it's like, I'm going to be disappointed. I might cry because I'm angry, but I'm not going to cry because I'm never going to get over this. You're not the love of my life. You know, the bubble has been burst. I'm not under any illusions anymore. So I think that's why we've got that Three of Swords reversed already. Because we cry and we don't get over people when we feel like it was truly a loss to lose them. When you realise that something was always an illusion, something was always a fantasy, this person was a shyster, you know, you can be frustrated, you can be offended, you can feel like, you know, fuck you, but you're not going to cry for the rest of your life about it. It'll be a lesson learned, if anything, you know, and don't feel foolish because there's nothing new under the sun. You know, my parents are twice my age and they say there's nothing new under the sun. You won't be the first to be fooled and you won't be the last. You know, and they've had these things done to them. So it's, you can go and have a normal life. Money can be reacquired, but that person is just never going to change. You know, they're a shyster and they're probably always being one from young, and they're always going to be one, and their family are going to have to deal with them forever. You don't have to, you get to walk away, you know. I'm so intrigued to see like what comes out from the Shadow Oracle deck. Brief affair. Brace for sudden ending, short but sweet can't last. I told you. This King of Wands thinks they're so good looking. They very much using, whether they're male or female, they're very much using their looks and their sexuality to get what they want out of everyone around them. They could walk into a room and like, you know, the music's on and they're just confident to dance, or they've got a way about them that they just always love to be the centre of attention. They know how to hold conversation with all kinds of people. You know, they're just used to like playing that role. They love it. But it is just a game for them, and they'll drink you dry. I'm not saying that's all fire signs, but when you get like someone that's not evolved, or they're a narcissist and they're just a user, like financially, they can be ruthless. Missed chances, don't have regrets, cherish your moments together. So they just like, they're someone that's very spontaneous. They live for the day. They blow all the money. Then they need more money from other people. They might earn a lot of money, but they'll spend it all being extravagant, being lavish, and then they want all your money and they'll blow all that as well. They could gamble. They could be like, you know, they just think, well, I can't take it with me. But guess who they're relying upon? Mr. King of Pentacles or Mrs. King of Pentacles. They're relying upon you being sensible and living off your savings, and they'll use them up in a month as well. Expecting new beginning. So they could be trying to get you pregnant. A lot of men and women will do that. They'll bring babies into the equation because that traps you. But all it should be is a brief affair, and then get yourself the hell out of there, okay? Twin flames. Yin and yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. Twin flames are not supposed to have a day-to-day union that's stable. They trigger healing in one another. It's a runner-chaser dynamic, okay? And it's high drama. The sex is fantastic, but it's high drama. Acts, break up, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. So this person will use all manner of tactics to mess with you, okay? The Phoenix, new phase, rekindle, renew, transformation, growth, changed mind. So that's, for me, that's to do with seeing the light. Lightning bolt, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. This is like, you know, a tower moment where you just realise this person's not good for you. Coffee cup, meeting and conversing, savouring the moment, feeling uplifted, friendship. People are, they're not going to judge you. They're just ready to be there for you because you're important to them. Okay? And there's no better honour than being there for someone in your family or one of your friends when, you know, they finally see the light, they wake up, they smell the coffee and they want to just talk about everything that happened. They've left the person, they've called it a day, they've realised they were a user, or they've realised they were bad for them, they were bringing them instability, drama, going through their money, whatever. There's nothing better than your mate calling you up saying, like, can we just go for a drink, or can we, like, you know, sit in a coffee place somewhere and just, I need to tell you everything that's gone on, you know, or sit in the car, or can I come round to yours, I need to, you know, just tell you what's gone on. Like, it's for comfort. They're not coming to you for judgment, and it's really, really nice that someone can open up and trust you in the most vulnerable moments. What's the nature of this connection, please? Between Scorpio and the one that they've been dealing with, the one that's been spending all their money. Stay optimistic. Positive thinking and faith will bring romance into your life. So don't let this person, like, make you feel like giving up. You may have felt really optimistic when you first met them. You may have felt like they were a knight in shining armour, you know, or, you know, this wonderful woman or girl that's come into your life, and you may have felt exhilarated by it, and maybe that was their job. It was just meant to be something brief to sort of get fire back in your loins, fire in your belly, like, you know, make you feel like this once again. Certain people are very good at making you feel good looking, but maybe that was just maybe that was the total of what they were supposed to do. Job done, you know? They're not supposed to rip raw through your savings. If Scorpio is not supposed to be with this person and they're going to meet someone new, when is someone new going to come along? Someone new for Scorpio, when's that going to happen? In August, okay? So you don't want to waste your time letting someone eat up your savings. It's not necessarily going to be a long time before you meet someone new. Stay optimistic, okay? August is a very important time for you. Let's get messages from them. Although I wouldn't believe a word out of Billy Bullshitter's mouth. Oh, that's what narcissists do. They say, you're selfish. I need this from you, and you're selfish. And, like, you don't owe them anything. They're being, like, absolutely cheeky, asking you for anything. Light. Well, that's with lightning bolt and epiphanies. I just want you all the time. They're just going to try to seduce you. They're going to tell you you're selfish, so emotionally blackmail you. And then they'll try to seduce you. It'll just swing between that. Sorry, I've just had, like, a coughing fit. Let's get you some advice. It's all for a reason, okay? So maybe this was to teach you to put up some boundaries. Maybe it's to teach you not to be picking people based off of face value. Maybe it's to teach you that you are good looking, that you are a sexual person, that you deserve to feel confident, like you've got your stuff going on. People who use for money, they're coming towards you because they see stability, they see someone who's trustworthy, someone who has a good network of people, you know, supporting them. And I'm not saying it because I want you to have empathy for them, because you've been over empathetic, okay? But they're attracted to you because you have got loads of good stuff going on, not because you're not worth anything. So someone made you feel shit in order to get you into this state of mind. Like a bad breakup previously, or someone, you know, just saying stuff that they shouldn't. It's way out of order. It's not your confidence. But if this person was meant to pick you up, then they were meant to pick you up, but it's just temporary, okay? There's so much more, like, zoom out, look at the bigger picture. This connection happened, for a reason. It had a little purpose, but it's being fulfilled. Projecting. Rather than reacting and projecting my emotions onto others, I remember no one is to blame. No one is responsible for the emotions that I feel. When someone says or does something that brings up strong emotions within me, I have the choice in how I respond. Yeah, it's very important to, when your emotions are all over the place, just to, meet up with friends or family, or, just go to theirs, hash it out, let them, just sit there while you just say everything that you're going through. You don't want the answers from people, you don't want judgment from people, you just want them to sit and let you create. You want them to create a safe space where you can just say what's gone on and say, I'm so sorry that happened to you, but you're okay now, like you're safe now. Confidence and courage. Face life's adventures and challenges bravely, with confidence and courage. That's what I've been talking about, okay? Someone really made you lose your, sense of confidence. They made you feel like you haven't got good stuff going on. You are attractive, you are sexy, you are, talented, you are special. There's many people that care about you. So, you've got it going on, and when you approach other people now, you need to do that and know that you have all those things. Don't let anybody dim your light, and make you feel like less than what you are. Because that's why you've kind of overspent on this person or let them get away with too much, okay? They sensed that, and sort of worked it to their advantage. But it's not because there wasn't genuinely good stuff that they found in you, but they've taken advantage of it, where another person will see all that good stuff and they wouldn't dream, of letting you pay for everything, or asking you for money when they've got their own money. They would never do that. Okay, I hope this resonates for some people. Please take a second to hit the like button and share the channel. It really helps. I'll clear these up and we'll go on to Sagittarius. I'm just going to mute while I blow my nose. It's unnecessary, sorry. Yeah, so in August, there's someone new anyway. I didn't get you an angel number. Let's do it now. Angel number for Scorpio, please. How dare I? Right, so Spirit's giving you a few to make up for that. Willpower, 1818. Achievements, success, striving forward, prosperity, go-getters, courage, and luck. Wow, significant events are on the cards for you. You will progress in your endeavours and gain new experiences. The right people and resources will be put on your path. An excellent proposal or change is coming up. You're destined for greatness. Love that. 2424, good times. Leisure, rest, holiday, pleasure, love, affection, kindness, and happiness. You are worthy of affection, leisure, and pleasure. If you tell your family and friends how you feel, you'll find that you're all on the same page and can work together effectively. Many people are rooting for you. If you spread love, it will find its way to you multiplied. I love that. Unexpected shift, okay, so 5 is a number of change. Divine intervention, sudden challenges, love, pleasant surprises, and gut feeling. This number serves as a gentle nudge to pursue whatever interests you the most. It's possible that something could rock your boat, but you'll end up exactly where you belong, which could be in somebody's arms, your dream job, or abroad. I'm so glad that I pulled those for you, because that's just really positive, isn't it, after like a bit of a shitty spread there. Okay, on to Sagittarius.